Alright, what's going on everybody? So over a year ago, I made a video titled How Strong is the Guardian, our main character. Since then, I've been getting comments to do an update video, and I figured now that the final shape is over and the witness is defeated, I figured now would be a perfect time to scale the Guardian yet again. Special thanks to Nothing Important here for the lore entry and scans. He's a good friend of mine and he also does scaling content here on YouTube, so if you haven't already, go check him out. Now with that being said, let's answer the question, how strong is the Guardian? There are some things, however, I do want to make clear before we get into our feats for the main character. Firstly, it's that Guardians have the ability to destroy their targets using their will, and this ability is made manifest within their guns and abilities themselves. As quoted by Tull in the Shattered, if you believe your weapon wants to end all existence, then so it will. I believe the 1,000 Wings lore entry also kind of goes along with this, with it reading, among millions of carved scout ships, you know that this one is special. It is the will of the thousands that impels you now. The demiurge of the hive is the worm. The demiurge of the Vex is the thought. The demiurge of the fallen is the ether, which is survival. The demiurge of the cabal is authority. These are the things, both constraint and power, which define the universe of possible action. These are the rule makers and the instruments which enforce reality. Give a power to a guardian and they shall know it as a weapon. For when a guardian chooses to alter the world, they do so with a bullet and a blade. Grant a guardian godly power, and that guardian shall fashion it into a perfect rifle. The demiurge of the guardian is the gun. But what we must remember, that the demiurge is not the god. It is the only thing that converts perfect divine will into imperfect material form. We may wield that demiurge, but if we do, what god wields us? Now, I only show you this to say that guardians have the ability to, especially while wielding weapons given to us by gods, will targets out of existence. One other thing too that's pretty much baseline for all guardians is that according to Ikora Ray, the only limiting factor for a guardian is time. Time is the difference between a guardian that just started out like a New Light and a 5th Sigma guardian such as Ikora Ray, one of the most powerful guardians that are alive today. One good example of this in real time is looking at the battle between Savathun and Saint 14. Saint 14 is a guardian who has centuries with the light, and at the time of this battle, Savathun was a guardian, with her having a ghost and the light itself. Saint 14 destroyed her time after time after time again, with her being resurrected continually. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the feats and statements of our main character. At the end of the Witch Queen campaign, the guardian ends up soloing the Witch Queen herself and her Lucian brood, all while she was being amped by her witches, something that's being stated directly by Ghost as we're fighting her. And keep in mind, this is after she switched to another logic after she ditched the sword logic, something that suits her better now that she didn't have her worm. This version of Savathun was already stronger than Oryx, simply due to her being alive at the time and growing stronger as time went on. This would make us Hive God tier, at least at the time, with us getting significant boosts in strength as time went on. Something that's more relevant to recent times is that in Iconoclasm, the last mission of the Final Shape campaign, we go up against the Witness solo. The results from the battle were that the Witness was wounded, and we were only able to do so with the sword that was given to us by the Traveler, with us also being able to defend against the Witness's attacks via the Aegis shield. Now, while the Guardian was able to tank some damage from the Witness, that doesn't mean that the Guardian at this point in time scales to the Witness directly. However, in preparation for the raid, we acquire the sword known as Ergo Sum, a sword literally given to us by the Traveler in order to defeat the Witness. And even as the raid goes on and we end up pushing the Witness back into the Excision mission, we get closer and closer to his level of power. This would come to a point where we're outright able to overpower the Witness, where we're arguably at our strongest. However, we had to sacrifice our ghost to do this. This should be of note though, this wouldn't leave us powerless because we still have stranded stasis. It would just leave us in a weaker state. There's also a statement that the Witness makes before we fight him in the campaign, and he notes that the Vanguard is holding us back from what we could be, and that the Vanguard itself has strength that pales in comparison to our own. This is very impressive, especially coming from the Witness, the strongest being that we've seen in the verse currently. Well, seen and fought, I guess. But it's so impressive for us because of the strength that the Vanguard boasts. All 3 Vanguard leaders have had centuries to master the light, and we've seen this the most with Ikora. You also have some older things like Oryx's Throne World being 4D because Throne Worlds stack infinitely upon each other. The gods transcend those Throne Worlds, and Oryx is above them, so he's 5D. We beat Oryx a long time ago, and then again while he was empowered in Pantheon. We also beat him then. The Guardian since then has gotten significantly stronger, especially with the possession of Prismatic, along with the acquisition of Ergo Sum and Microcosm. As for strength, speed, and durability, like I said before, during the final stand in Excision, we were able to use our ghost channeling the light through it, which ultimately ended up killing the Witness, a being who would have affected all of reality, halting it to a perfect stillness. As for speed, we can reach levels of immeasurable speed, especially because the Voidwalker subclass says that those who stare into the void are not bound by the laws of space and time. Axioms are also incalculable in terms of speed due to the fact that they're just a general belief. In terms of durability, at the end of Iconoclasm, we are able to take small amounts of damage from the Witness, with us after the raid being able to take much more. Once again, these are attacks from the strongest being that we've faced so far. Stronger than Nezarec, stronger than Rolk, Oryx, everyone. As for Axe, we have all of the same ones that we usually do, with the addition of Prismatic. Of course, these include things like limited omniscience using Strand, and the ability to create limited sentient life via threadlings and arc souls, stasis turrets, solar buddies, and so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, hit that like button. If you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.